TokyoRevengers, or TokyoRevengers, has been a journey, and a journey I'm glad to call my anime of the year so far. Or I guess my anime of the year. It's almost the end of the year, so I guess why not? Now, I'm not going to start counting series like AOT, ReZero, Fruits Basket, or even Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm mainly counting the anime, what are new this year, and what nobody really knew about not having sequels, if you get my drift. Now, let's talk about why it's my anime of the year, and take it back a bit, starting with the plot of the series. The plot of TokyoRevengers dives us into the life of our protagonist, Hanagaki Takemichi, who is currently laying around in his rotting room. It's not that this guy is a shut-in, but this guy is really just a deadbeat with a bummy job who we can clearly see his life is just going nowhere. We see him laying around in his room. I guess that's a normal day for him. But we zoom in into his TV. His TV giving news of a tragedy of a truck crashing into a shopping district. No, this is not an isekai. We learn about two of the victims, to be exact, Tachibana Naoto and his older sister, Tachibana Hinata. We move on further, seeing Takemichi leave work and see how his life really is. He's even picked on by some middle school kids outside. He begins to run through his life while waiting for the train at the train station. He's only had one girlfriend in middle school, and well, yeah, my boy's a bit of a virgin, so yikes for him. He asked a simple question: where did it all go wrong? Now, I gotta say, at the moment, I'm already like hooked onto the series, seeing MC sort of open up with his life and has that type of internal struggle. It really gets you to connect with the MC and sort of like him a bit more, instead of like the MCs who just hide their feelings or show no emotion at all. It's a bit different, and I like how we're able to see that within like the first 3 minutes of the series, rather than further down the line in other episodes. He's able to share his type of emotions now instead of us getting it later, so it's great. Now, with that thought, Takemichi is actually pushed onto the train track, and with the train coming full speed ahead, there's a flash of light. That's right, it's flashback time. So we're brought into a past memory where Takemichi thinks back to the peak of his life, that being his second year of middle school. You find out that he has a girlfriend, that being Tachibana Hinata. Yes, that very same Tachibana Hinata who died in the very beginning of the series. Now, they say when you die, you see a flash of light, or just any type of light, and you are brung to the afterlife. But for Takemichi, this was a little bit different. Yes, he saw that light, but he wasn't brung to any afterlife. In fact, he was very much still in his body. His body being from the year 2005, exactly 12 years into the past. We get to see Takemichi sort of go through the day in this body, or I guess his body right now in the past. And one thing leads to another, and his dark past tends to catch up with him. The same things from 12 years ago begin to happen again and again, getting his ass beat by these gang members. You can see his life slowly becoming into their lackeys, and his life is once again beginning to meet its tragedy it once was before. He takes it as a message from God, that God wanted to show how shitty my boy's life was. But he remembers the news of the incident, that being the Tokyo Manji gang caused for his ex-girlfriend, Hinata, to die. He goes to see her and lets his emotions out. And it's here we get to see how much Hinata really helped Takemichi. And not just like helped him, she really did care for him. We get to see Takemichi sort of think about this, and he decides to take the step for the first time in his life and do something what's meaningful. That very thing is going to be saving Tachibana Hinata. But to do this, Takemichi's going to have to go through a little bit of trial and error. He has to go through all of the Tokyo Manji gang and sort of rise up through the ranks, stopping situations from occurring to secure the right future and get his revenge. Now, for the plot, in my opinion, it's very much to my liking. I like to see these underdog type of characters, let's say like Subaru in ReZero. Takemichi isn't much of a star, and Subaru isn't much of a star. And hell, Takemichi really isn't much towards the end of the anime right now. But I'm loving to see the slow growth of Takemichi, the crybaby Takemichi, to the hero I feel like he will become. I see it happening slowly, but surely over time. I want to see him rise up and become the hero that we all want him to be. That's really my goal for the series, or like really the goal I want to see for the series. The seeing Takemichi grow as a character, like I said, is slow, and people don't like that. But I'm here for the ride, and I can't wait to really see how great Takemichi will get. What else is fun from this series are the great characters we get to meet throughout Takemichi's journey through the Toman gang. One being the young leader Mikey, who's a very fun and playful character, but over time, he leaves his mark on you. He's not just a childish, playful guy. He's a born leader, and one who kicks fucking ass too. Literally. He's a character I would say everybody loves, and it's just dope to see him direct the Toman gang into the right direction and follow his dream of just making a nice future is this Mikey is such a dope character that generally, like I said, everybody loves Mikey. And you really can't help but not like Mikey. Everything he does is either playful or fun, and when it's time to fucking take it up a notch, he takes it up a notch and proves he's not just a playful fun character. My boy could get serious when it's needed. Now Mikey doesn't do this alone. He's sort of joined by the second in command. That's right, my favorite character, that being the man Tracken. Honestly, he's dope from the get-go. From his design, I was drawn into him, loving that tattoo he has. Along with the way he is able to just be an older brother to Mikey, and a protector to the Toman gang. Draken almost keeps Mikey in check with the way he makes him follow the right path, giving him these life lessons along the way, along with human morale. Mikey's not really able to get this from anyone else, and the trust him and Draken have, along with the coordination they have, really makes for a good combo. And Draken's just a really born badass character who gives other characters in the series that sort of will and those lessons to keep pushing on, just like the older brother should. Now, another character got introduced a lot later into the series, but doesn't take away anything from him. Baji Keisuke. Honestly, Baji's such a dope character who really is just a menace and does whatever the fuck he wants to, who has that type of wild side. Along with my boy's hot ass voice, I ain't gonna cap though. I don't swing that way, but your boy does like Baji's voice. You can't really help but not like Baji. And towards the end of the series, we get to really see him shine, bringing his character development in a way, or just bringing him as a character, growing a little bit more. Like I said, he's gonna shine, and I hope you guys will like him as much as I do. Now, another thing this series just does amazing at is sort of capturing the essence of gangs and the nature of the delinquents. I feel me not being able to read, or me not actually going ahead and reading any delinquent series or even watching any, I'm able to just dive into this fresh. Let the series do its job, present the nature of gangs to me, while having an engaging cast and dope story to go along with it. It's almost like a breath of fresh air. It really hooks me onto the genre, with me wanting to read more. So please, if you guys have any delinquent series below, goddamn, just let your boy know down there below in the comments. Also, another thing that's dope is the scenery and designs. I feel like the author of the series, Ken Wakui, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, hit a spot on giving these characters the drip. And I'ma tell you, boys, they were drip. If you look at the volume covers or just look at the initial designs they really have in the series, you can tell they're really well constructed and it gives off a nice vibe. That being the streets of Tokyo, or even the dope jackets that Toman are able to wear. It's just all phenomenal, and you guys are gonna love everything in this series. From the designs or just the feel of Tokyo, y'all gonna love it. We can see this series sort of rise to the top, and you can see in the sales going on at the moment. It's not a fluke, but with its great story and amazing cast, it can really hook you along the way, giving that image of what Tokyo is really like and what these gangs are able to be. Sure, the people are young, unless it's like, I try and ignore the age type of feel. I feel like that was sort of done as a way to progress the story. So, I know they could be 12 or 13, but I'm sort of crossed out. I sort of just urge you to go watch TokyoRevengers, and honestly, I feel like you guys are going to love it. For any new people here, I'm not going to start spoiling yet, or just yet in the series. I just want to urge you to go watch or even read TokyoRevengers if that's your preference. Now, that's it for the new people. I'm just going to go run through some extra things I enjoyed in the series. So, a spoiler warning from here on out to anyone who has not watched Tokyo or has not read the manga up until the end of the anime. Now that the series is over, I just want to state some things I loved about the show. I'm gonna start with my top 5 characters. So starting with number 5, we got my boy Chifuyu. A character who got his introduction really late into the series, but has been growing on me slowly. And everybody who reads just loves Chifuyu, and I can really see why. It's sort of a joy, and to see that pair with him with Takemichi, I sort of want to go more into that in the future. Everybody says they're the best new gen duo, so I hope it will continue. And I hope it's dope in the future. I can't wait to see what really makes him a great character. Next, I'm going to be surprised, but number 4 is Takemichi. And yeah, I know it's a shock. And I love Takemichi, honestly, he's a great character. But I just need a little bit more time to see him grow and become that hero he needs to be. It's going to be a long process, but your boy's enjoying what he's getting so far, and I'm here for it. 3 is Mikey. And I feel like I had a really hard time ranking Mikey because of the other characters. Because he's just a dope and fun, playful character, but also serious leader when he really needs to be. He has a perfect mix of everything, what you'd really want from a character, and I feel like everybody loves Mikey along with me, so that's why Mikey's number 3. Number 2, and I don't expect to put him here. I would have put Mikey here, but since we sort of had that flashback now, and now that we've had his ending, Baji Keisuke. You know, at first I thought he was an out-of-control savage, but that sort of changed when we get to see what he was doing. It really opened my eyes, and I sort of saw Baji in a new light. His last moments were truly just fucking goated, and like, honestly, for me not to put him in the top 5 of the series so far, he just went out like a goat, So I'm gonna make him go out like a goat. I'll put him a number 2 in my series. So I wish you could see more of him, but I guess his departure was sort of needed to progress the story along with the development of Takamichi. So it's needed, but your boy likes Baji, so I'm gonna put it on number 2. The number 1, obviously I said it earlier, is Draken. For me at the moment, when I saw this man, honestly, I was captured by his design and captivated by him just being a badass. He grew on me even more playing that older brother type of role. I just find dope with him keeping Mikey in check and keeping the whole gang in check almost. He's just the most human in the show, as weird that is to say, with him sort of giving these human life lessons to Takamichi or whether that be to Mikey. It really like hits in the heart, and like goddamn, how can you not like Draken? He's just a dope character. Now, for my favorite moments in the show, I'm gonna sort of keep it simple and just go with the episodes. So first we got episode 10. We really get to see the development of Takamichi when he's fighting Kiyomasa, proving himself as the hero. He sort of chokeholds him, and he lets out this scream at the end of the episode. And it's just a badass moment where this, come on, gives your boys chills. Then we got episode 21, where we get to see Baji sort of go all out pretty much. And goddamn, Baji really went off, and he's just honestly a goat. I guess if you sort of combine this episode 20 stuff, it's just even better. You know, it's just seeing Baji the whole time, just being a whole ass badass going against a fucking 1v20. I feel like the whole stretch of the Baji stuff towards the end of the Valhalla arc really just made me love him. And seeing himself stop the whole battle, sacrificing himself, brought your boys to tears. You can go check out that reaction. Trust me, I was brought to tears, and I just wish he was still around, but such a good character. Now finally, can you guys guess what number 1 is? My favorite episode in Tokyo, my favorite moment, I guess. It's episode 12. Honestly, this episode pretty much had everything. It's just a wild roller coaster what left your boy pretty much depressed at the end. I had to go take a walk or something to go get a drink. Now, beginning of the episode, we sort of get to see Takamichi and Hinata sort of meet again. And it's just a wholesome moment. You know, Hina's alive, Naoto's happy, Takamichi's happy. But this doesn't last long, you know? We sort of get this like little tension building up throughout the series. And it does start off as wholesome. But in this episode, it really goes down a dark path. And the dark future sort of, you know, catches up with Takamichi's past and whatever that may be. With Hanma coming back and even Kisaki even doing some shit here. Ended in a shock, and the moment where we get to see Hina, her whole like bottom half pretty much says is gone. Come on, left me jaw dropped, and Akun dying again. It's just a fucking painful episode. Will get every emotion out of me. The end where Hina died just left your boy upset, and then Takamichi swearing he's gonna be number 1 at Toman, gonna be the head of Toman. It's just a GOAT moment. I have to put this on number 1 in the episode. It's just phenomenal. Like, goddamn, your boy, so happy with that. I'm recording this after all of the things you just saw. Recording this after the last episode. Your boy just got done with his editing for the final episode. Should be premiering right now, so I assume you guys will be watching it now, or I don't know, whenever you're watching this. But you know, this is my final review of TokyoRevengers, my whole journey. You guys have seen my face, no more audio, no more. That was really hard to edit, by the way. Like, it wasn't hard because it was a bit of a crappy job. I just started inserting random images at one point, but I guess the audio as well. I just wanted to get something out. I feel like the main stuff you would get to in the review would sort of be right now what I'm gonna say. Improv, no script or anything. What a journey though, huh? 24 weeks I started TokyoRevengers, almost 6 months ago. Might have been 25 weeks because we might have had a break 1 week. But a whole 6 months almost, you know, we've been together watching Tokyo, and goddamn, I can actually say now after this final episode, that cliffhanger, yo, we're gonna get into that. I don't know how long I'm gonna talk for, I'll just run on my improv, but goddamn. 6 months of Tokyo, you guys have joined me on this journey, and your boy has not regretted a single thing about it. Like, goddamn, started off a great start, and it sort of ended off as a great start. Especially, like, ended off a great start. It ended off with an amazing ending. That gunshot, I don't think Takamichi's dead. I feel like something happened there, but we're definitely getting a season 2. We definitely have to get a season 2. I haven't checked if it's confirmed yet. Like, maybe you guys tell me in the comments if it is. I haven't been on Twitter. I'm generally edited this, put it on Premiere, and then I'm recording this. I'm gonna go edit this video, so goddamn. Now let's get into it a little bit. Like, why is Tokyo my anime of the year? Like, when I say that, like, obviously there's been I'll be honest, there's been better written shows this year. But like, in terms of favoritism and thing what just struck me out of nowhere, I've been hearing about Toman for about 2 years, right? Or maybe a year-ish. Since the beginning of last year, I heard people say, hey, you gotta read this manga, and I like to friends, hey, you should read TokyoRevengers. Like, what the fuck is TokyoRevengers? Remember Yonko Productions went and leaked that TokyoRevengers is getting anime, and so it was made by Leiden Films. Leiden Films does not have the best track record. It actually helped on Berserk. Berserk 2016 and 17, that is. And obviously, that anime does not have the best track record, as we know. But another great thing about that is that, you know, a studio who was pretty much dying doesn't have the best track record. Blade of Immortal actually looked pretty good, but you know, Toman wasn't really looking good in that sense of like, hey, yo, this is the studio. Is this gonna be okay? People are like, okay, it might look good because like they have the track record of making stuff look good. Berserk's the sort of, yeah, it's mainly the pacing you got to worry about for them. But Tokyo's adapted page for page pretty much everything. They haven't had any content. The only episode that will look bad was episode 20, I do think it is. And that episode was outsourced to another company, I do hear. But besides from that, every episode really stepped up Lion Films games. And we can see, like, they're going to have more money now. Obviously, Tokyo's making money. You saw the manga sales. The manga sales be going up. I talked about that in a video right before, like, what you just saw in the content there. It's gone up. And now we're finally, you know, seeing more of this shit with Lion Films. You saw even Mappa, they came out of nowhere. They weren't, like, they were a good studio, but they came out God of High School. It looked good. The pacing was shit. And then they did Jujutsu Kaisen. Phenomenal. Mwah. Progressed the manga and took it to new levels. And they're doing the same with Tokyo. Some scenes aren't the best, but in some cases, like, I'm not calling the art bad in the manga, but, you know, the art does look dull in the manga sometimes. The anime goes to improve that. Look at the second ending visual. I believe that's made by Studio Doctor Movie, and they've done a phenomenal job there. So now it begs the question, like, all right, let me get actually into why. So I talked about the characters. I love the characters, all of them. Baji, Mikey, Takamichi. Takamichi in this last episode, we got to see him finally rising. And I talked about this. I said, I want to see him grow. I want to see this growth slowly. I know it's going to come slowly. Now he's actually the head division captain in Toman. And you can see he has that strength. You know, my boy ready for it. He wants to go protect Hina now. When he went and shook Naruto's hand in the final episode, he looked at Hina with a serious stare. He didn't even say anything to her. And there you go. That's my boy. He's rising to the top now. Now, Kisaki sort of played things out a little bit weird towards the end of the episode. It's almost like he waited towards the very end. And Kisaki's weird. He said to Takamichi, he started crying. He's just like, what the fuck are you? What are you? And then he says, you're my hero. Now, I said like I said in my post review of the episode we just had, that Kisaki looked a little bit fragile when we first saw him. So I'm wondering here if that has something to do with it. He saw Takamichi, you know, like a little bitch, pretty much, rise to the top of Toman, like he is right now. If we're counting out Draken, he's pretty much the head three people of Toman. Takamichi's number one. He took Baji's position, and I'm loving that. That's my boy, fam. I'm loving it. Don't mind me if I'm getting hyped. Okay, I'm just thinking back on it. So I feel like that's a bit of a prediction there, but I could be wrong on that. All right, and now let's talk about like a series what came out of nowhere, right? Just managed to like captivate me in so many ways where I'm excited to sit back on every Saturday and watch this. Especially like something what sort of helped in this, and it's sort of I'm not happy with it exactly, but My Hero. I have a video coming on that out next week too. We're gonna talk about that for season 5 My Hero, so ready for the dislikes on that channel. But we had My Hero, right? And the thing is with My Hero, weird situation, right? Studio Bones obviously working on a movie, and there's a lot of like the B team type of stuff on My Hero. So, with that, TokyoRevengers thought I had to take a spotlight. And when it took that spotlight, My Hero wasn't really there to fill it. So, it was TokyoRevengers on top every Saturday. Like, generally. Nothing else was on Saturday. 86 wasn't airing anymore. Especially this season. It's been dry because My Hero's been shit. My Hero's been shit pretty much every episode. This is the best episode we've had of My Hero this week. And I'm not going to talk about the Shigaraki episode if you saw that. Whatever. This is TokyoRevengers. God damn, it really took that spotlight and it ran with it. And you can see in the manga sales, everybody's loving it in Japan. Everybody's loving it in the US. Like, god damn, TokyoRevengers blew up to new heights that I never even expected to. I said to a friend that when Jujutsu Kaisen ends, I feel like, when I saw the first trailer for TokyoRevengers, I felt something special. I'm just like, ayo, this is going to take Jujutsu Kaisen type and run with it. He's like, nah, I don't think so. What did it do? It's beaten One Piece in sales almost every week, besides of Volume 100. It beat it this week, Volume 100 in the second type of sales. It's beating Black Clover, it's beating Jujutsu Kaisen, it's beating, obviously Demon Slayer's like ended, but it's beating Demon Slayer. TokyoRevengers is number 1 every week for pretty much 2 months straight. And it sold like at least like 20 million copies this year. That's amazing. Like honestly, if the anime didn't air, I don't know if that popularity would have happened. And Ken Wakui is finally able to end his series with a little bit of a bag too. My boy getting the money for the last type of sales. Props to Ken Wakui. Props to like the whole of Light and Films for doing this, and it's just fucking phenomenal. OST in Tokyo always gets me hyped. I believe the person who does the OST also did Jujutsu Kaisen. I can look that up in a second, but I could be wrong. I'll put it on the screen if I'm wrong. But goddamn, like honestly, like it's been such a good season. Animation, like I said, besides from that one episode, was a little bit iffy, but apart from that, it just like captured Tokyo and like the streets I would imagine is Tokyo very well, and like the essence of gangs, you know, you really felt like you're in a gang almost. We're going into these different type of gangs, being these different type of characters, especially like when you sort of went to the Valhalla, you know, headquarters, the outside, you know, we see everybody like, you know, conducting in a certain way. We see Toman's sort of gang thing, you know, taking place in a shrine, and then you see Valhalla sort of an underground sort of like dead arcade, and it's almost every gang has a different type of vibe. Even so, when Mavis had their type of thing, you know, they all rolled up with Osanai. So Osanai's an interesting character to have there. If we can see the difference in Osanai, Kisaki, and Hanma as antagonist. Osanai was obviously the weakest. Kisaki has nothing to show yet, and Hanma's been pretty good. And Hanma, I'm liking Hanma at the moment because he's able to like sort of change up when he needs to. He's cuckoo when he gets into a fight, my boy, ready for it. But like when he has to go serious, he's sort of acting serious, and you can see that. So I really like that too. Kisaki, we really need to get into him a later season. And all right, let's talk about also Chifuyu. Chifuyu is really growing on me, especially in the last episode. He had that moment with Takamichi. That's phenomenal. He said my partner, and I feel like we're gonna get this partner dynamic within. I'm anime only, by the way, so don't think I read a manga. I feel like when he said the partner thing there, I feel like Takamichi's gonna go back. We're sort of gonna, you know, build some trust with Chifuyu. He said, Chifuyu, you're doing this on your own, right? I need to sort of try and figure this out. And, you know, he's probably gonna help Chifuyu a little bit. They're gonna actually become these partners. For him to call him partner, that means they already would have been pretty close. And he's pretty much Takamichi's second-hand man. So we really need to see how that actually happens. And Takamichi's going to have to sort of take the step forward and make that trust with Chifuyu. So he's able to take down Kisaki with both of them. And obviously he said he was like the Judas by himself. He was doing it on his own. And goddamn. Phenomenal. I don't know what else to say, honestly. I've just been so happy with this season. I've been ecstatic, and it's going to be pretty sad to see nothing on Saturdays. Your boy's pretty much free on Saturdays now for the next few weeks. We're going to start Patreon soon, so if I'm reading Tokyo-Revengers, I'm going to do it on Twitch and upload the full version of Patreon. If I upload it on YouTube, I'm going to censor it a little bit, so obviously copyright from Kondansha. Your boys sort of don't, boy, don't want that. Alright, let's talk about Season 2 as well. Obviously, I don't want to get into it too much. Obviously, you know, the voice actor for Draken, supposedly had an affair and cheated on the hit artist Demon Slayer opening season 1, Lisa. So that happened there. I want to get into whatever there. It's a bit of a problem there because, like, obviously, if you heard another report about him, Draken's voice actor, like the actual voice actor, not like the character, the actual voice actor, sadly, you know, he tried to take his life, and because of that, he's not really in a good place right now. So I feel like season 2's like airing day and production type of stuff is going to come really late, and I guess they have to animate that first. But as for the voice acting type of stuff, if Draken's in it, Draken could get a voice actor change, and that would suck. Let's hope I need to find out the voice actor's name, so sorry about that. I wish him well, and hopefully he gets better, and I hope he's not blacklisted from any type of Japanese production, because he did a phenomenal job as Draken. Draken's my favorite character in the series, as I said before. Goddamn. Now, my predictions for the series, like I said, I feel like we're going to sort of go back into the past. Naruto might have pulled up at the end, because we didn't see Takamichi really get shot. So I feel like Naruto's sort of going to pull up and, you know, sort of talk about, hey, yo, I'm here now, Takamichi. And Mitsuya wasn't there at the meeting too, and I feel like that really takes importance as well. Why wasn't Mitsuya there? So Mitsuya was busy with some stuff. I'm pretty sure it didn't pull up. I feel like that's important. It doesn't really sound like Mitsuya to not be there, from what I know about him. Mikey's obviously still looks pretty missing. So Draken was executed. I wonder what that means, though. Electric chair, maybe? Your boy really don't know. Huh. A lot of lingering questions here. I guess Takamichi's going to get back, but like, we're going to have to sort of stop the Black Dragons, because I'm pretty sure they spoke about the Black Dragons, and we also got these new people. So there's the new and the old sort of clashing within Toman. And when Chifuyu said at the end, obviously, like, hey, yo, Toman's still the same inside, and we sort of see that with Pa and Peiyan, you know, sort of clashing at the end, always the same, you know? Takamichi's like, hey, stuff don't change too often, so I'm loving that too. But honestly, phenomenal. I'm loving Tokyo as my anime of the year, and I'm going to stay true with it, like my favorite new anime of the year. There's other shit, like Link Click, well, obviously, like, in writing, it obviously, like, goes miles ahead, but, technically, that is an anime. It's a Chinese anime, and I'm not sure how to pronounce the name of that. But in terms of my favorite thing, what's actually dear to me, it is TokyoRevengers, and a lot of people aren't going to be happy with that. Be like, what the fuck? What the hell has this guy been watching all year? I'm not counting sequels, by the way, to AOT, Fruits Basket, Jujutsu Kaisen, because that was sort of airing still in the year, second core. I'm not counting that. So I'm generally just counting TokyoRevengers, something new this year. That's been my favorite. I've talked about the characters. I just love everything about the show, the whole dynamic, the plot, the story, the emotions they're able to give me. I cried in the Budgie episode. I feel like there's a lot more shit to go down the road. Your boy just cry a lot. I'm a little big baby, you know, obviously. Like, I have the beard and everything, but, you know, when a scene gets emotional, your boy's gonna cry. Hope you guys check out all my reactions to TokyoRevengers. I hope you guys, like, if you haven't seen it, then I hope you're not watching right now, because I'm spoiling completely the last episode. Now it just depends if I'm going to read a manga. I feel like we will get a season 2. I'm going to wait a few months, but join the Discord. And trust me, just join all of that, and I'll let you know if I read a manga. Like, you know, I'm trying to make the Discord more active. I'm trying to make everything more active, so goddamn. Your boy's just really happy. Like, I'm not happy it's over. I'm obviously upset it's over. It's been a long ride. It's honestly been a long ride, but I've enjoyed every moment along the way. I hope you guys have too. I've got, like, as for the cons of the series, I guess you can just really say it's Takamichi's development, but obviously that comes slowly. And that's really about it. But I've spoken long enough. I don't know if I've been able to really explain that why that's anime of the year. I can't really put that into words. Just everything about the show, the dynamic, the everything. I love it, and hope you guys do too. So, trying to get 3,000 subs now. I'd appreciate if you guys get me to that. And that's really about it. I hope you guys join me along the journey in my YouTube career, my first year, my first few months of doing this. And there's a lot more Tokyo to come, a lot more other series to come. Hope you guys stick along with me, not just with Tokyo. Hopefully we can, like, discover new series together. It's going to be a Patreon. It's going to be pretty cheap. Obviously, I'm not going to charge a lot for it. We get to watch the full reactions. We get to see some other series go together. We're going to start doing a lot more streams on Twitch. Follow Twitch, follow TikTok, follow the Twitter. Join the Discord. That's all I got to say. TokyoRevengers, my anime of the year. If it isn't for you, then I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Goddamn. Thank y'all. Thank you for the 24 weeks we've had for Tokyo and all these reactions. Thank you for watching the video if you got this far. Goddamn. I'll see y'all next time. Sensei, out.